Okay, in this segment I want to just give you a few of my own personal stories about how mold remediation is not properly done. And again, this is to arm you with some background so that you know when your client is not being served either adequately or when they're just being shysted. So the idea here is that, I outlined a 6-step process for including the HEPA treatment, the negative air, drying things out, etc. I have seen individuals show up at a little old lady's house and tell her that she has mold. And after they scare her sufficiently for her to be willing to pay their massive bill, then they're going to say they've got this magic spray that will make her mold go away. I've heard of multiple companies that have this stuff, and they can be very convincing. You don't want to have your client be that victim. So basically, if these guys have a magic spray that they're just going to wander around and spray some here and spray some there, and they're not using any tarp, they're not covering anything, they're not protecting anything. If it sounds like they're using snake oil, they probably are. So if you got a guy that's claiming he's got a magic spray that's going to make somebody's mold go away, he's lying, and you can tell that for a number of reasons. One is that even if he could make the mold go away completely today, as soon as she opens her doors or her windows, in comes new mold, and she just wasted, $1,000 or $1,500 or whatever his price tag is. Similarly, sometimes these guys have been known to go into places like crawl spaces or basements, and they will see where there's maybe a black spot. And I think even a kindergartner could identify the difference between a char mark and a mold spot, because char looks like char. The only similarity is that they're both black. But these guys don't seem to have that ability. And I have a couple of stories where they will see those char marks, tell somebody they have mold, and then suggest themselves as the repairer of that mold, the killer of that mold. And then, of course, they have their outlandish bill, $1,000 at least for 5 minutes worth of work plus 15 minutes worth of swindling somebody. So those are the sorts of conditions where you're going to want to guide your client towards running. Obviously, magic sprays are less expensive than a full remediation, but if it needs to be done at all, the magic spray isn't going to work.